Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smiths in the Black with the Strat Time Report, and things have started to deteriorate here in the last half an hour, but let's take a look at what we got. We got the SPY, and you can see this last half an hour, boom, dumper, and not seeing any news out there, but certainly we have NVIDIA earnings coming out after the close, and we'll take a look at that in a second, but somebody got spooked here, and boom, two up, two down on the 30 and clocked this thing, so that might have been part of it, but let's go back to the SPY. And so SPY, so far, still an inside day, right? You can see that tried to take out the weekly highs and now back to Doji Land doing nothing. And so you can get this chop shop like that if we go to the 60. That's why we're always watching that 60. Inside 60, pokes up, but then once it comes back here and goes red, now we're looking for an outside bar. Boom, which we got, but still an inside day, not the end of the world, and that's why we're going to watch each 60, always minding that 60 to see what's going on. Also, I talk about the broader averages always first, and so you want to see if there's any notable strength or weakness versus each other. So if you go to Qs were at least a little stronger until that last half an hour and got hit, but Qs were taking out yesterday's highs, right? SPY's still inside day. Now, came in with the market here a little bit. You can see that outside 30, boom, back to previous range. Now we'll see what they do on the new 60s. And the discernible weakness in the Dow Jones Diamonds. And the Dow Jones Diamonds getting closer to taking out last week's lows. And I talked about this in Strat Time and the Strat Attack here. When we close this shooter here, potentially, boom, back to the previous range and stop out them, and them. So Diamond's much weaker and coming through. We already knew that in the morning because you can see this. It was taking out yesterday's lows right out the opening as opposed to the Qs that were taking out yesterday's highs. If you go to small cappers even worse, coming down. And that's a 2 up, 2 down week now for the small cap. So here you can see that inside 60 to the downside small capper. So just by watching those four broader averages, you can tell what's going on. So after that last half an hour, not much holding up here, but we did have this in Apple that we can keep an eye on, but we've been watching this for a while. Here, for one, inside week, the poke down, the Rev Strat week, is going to stop out the highs of these guys, them, and them, which it did. And if that works, looking for this here. The outside month, the 2 down and the 2 back up, 322 style over 150, 316. You're still there, so we're looking to take out the highs, but we'll see if this market weakness continues. If we go to Tesla, and Tesla does what it was supposed to do. And what do I mean by that? It was like, I pointed this out earlier this week, yesterday. You get that slight lower low, right? That means we got a broadening formation if we go 2-2 reversal here, which we did. And if that works, these three become an outside bar of these two, you see? And actually of these three here. So it did its job by doing that. Now you have higher high and lower low. The question is going to be strong enough to keep going, right? And try and change that month back green. Came in with the market a bit here, but you can see that lower low and higher high broadening formation right there. And if we don't take out today's highs, you can draw that and you can draw that. If we go to NVAX, and NVAX inside on the 60 right now, and you can see this here on the daily. Inside day, poke down, Rev Strat day, and if that works, it triggers the inside week to the upside. Still would like to take out that last month's highs for the 2-2, but now you got an inside 60, NVAX hanging in there. Moderna up a little bit, but Moderna still needs to take out this inside week to really get my attention here. It's been a little tight in here, but NVAX the one so far. If we go to ONON, talked about this here yesterday, still going, and that's good. Inside week to the upside, the 2 down, 2 up reversal month, and then the inside 60 to get her going. And still going as ONON. We'll see if that sets up again for us. If we go to EYPT, and EYPT, nice little 2-2 reversal day. Boom, whatever this was good, but they sold it off. Stop all these guys out, then the 2-2 back up. Now inside 60 down, so we'll see how that holds up coming into the afternoon. If we go to RBLX. RBLX now coming in off that 60, just still having that Rev Strat month, bright green, and a nice bright green week. More highs, just exhaustion risk by going to the highs, and so you can see this on the 60 doing this. The 2 up and the 2 down. So when this hour closes out, if we can take that back, whatever this high is at the end of the hour, right now it's 122.88, that gets my attention. Market trying to stabilize just a tad here on the new 60, and that's why we always watch the new 60 called the flip, right? We always want to know about that. All right, so on the new 60 starts to firm up. If we go to FLGT, here you can see that 2 down by taking out last month's lows. Boom, 2-2 reversal. Just trying to come back, having a nice little day, and you can see there's a nice little inside 60 here to get her going. So we'll see if that sets up again. If we go to TTCF, the Tattooed Chef, already coming in. We'll see if there's anything more to it. Already an outside week, already an outside month as well, but you can see it looks like right out the gate was the buy-in, and now it's backing off, so we'll see if that sets up at all. Really, it's been a lot more downside, especially when we got that whoosh. But like I said, in the Dow Jones, Disney, inside day to the downside, still struggling, and that's a 3-2 on the week. So just some exhaustion risk by going into the lows. Also, Cat Tractor. And Cat Tractor, we've known about this, now taking care of business on these guys. Rev Strat week. 1, 2, 2. Down goes the Catry. If we go to Walgreens, 2 up, 2 down on the week. Still an inside month, so we can expect that back and forth. And if you go down to a 30, you'll see this. Inside on the 30, and down she goes, but we'll see. If we go to Roku getting smashed here, and we've known about this because this is called a Momo shooter on the month. A 2 down, it's a shooting star, right? Stopping them all out and hammer them. You can see this broadening formation here. We'll see if that keeps going, but a slight gap down and just hammered. If we go to the 60, see this. Inside 60 Momo shoot just like the month. Boom, 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 down she goes. If we go to FLT, and FLT having some problems, the outside month, which means this buying was rejected, and now it's still getting rejected, 3-2 down off the inside week. FLT having some issues, and you can see this inside and down off the 60. All right, market's still stabilizing, though, on these 60s. And like I said, NVIDIA getting a little spooked. Somebody thought they knew something, but still handily inside week, but the earnings coming tonight. So you can see how it's just been knuckle tight in here, waiting for these earnings. So we'll see what comes of that. If we go to Lyft, and Lyft, inside day to the downside, that's a 3-1-2 continuation. The outside bar, inside bar, and then down. And if you go to the weekly, the outside bar, the 3-2-2, boom, looking to come down and take these guys out if we don't get any reversals against us. We'll see, like I said, firming up with the market just a tad. If we go to Stne, oh boy, smoked. And so this thing, look at this. And so you can see we're going to try and gun for these things to get the broadening formation, the higher high and get the lower low. So that would be to take out 1772. So you got some room on that potential on the Momo shooter here on the 60. We'll see if that gets any worse. You did have an inside 30 right here, and then triangle it out, and we'll see more comes of it. If we go to, well, they're hitting China. Baba coming down. You see that on the daily. 2 up by taking out the previous day's highs. 2 down. Boom, down she goes. And not totally getting crushed, but back to the previous range is what you want. Right back through there. There was your inside 60 down. We'll see if China sets up again. You got Baidu back through previous range. So you can stop the guys who bought it here and here and here and here, all them kind of guys looking for an outside week. Still doji on the month, so it's basically doing nothing, but you can see this was a nice little move here. In Baidu, you've got Billy Baru. 2 up, 2 down. Boom, back to the previous range. Hopefully an outside week to try and keep it going down. Right now, slow and steady, but firming up just a bit with the market. So it's also Wednesday, so we get crude oil inventory numbers coming out. And not totally pounding this thing, but it is a 2 down on the day, and taking it still below last week's lows. Not totally falling apart, but OIH feeling the pains. So OIH, the 2 down day, the 2 up, and boom, 2 down. That's 3 down on the week, which means this buying was rejected, still being rejected. Now, if it's not careful, you can take out last month's lows. So that's going to tell you Slob and Halliburton, and not totally getting killed, but the 3 outside day, 2, boom. When this took that out, not a lot of magnitude, but you're looking to take that out. But if that works, you're taking this out. The Rev Strat week, 1, 2, coming down. Nice inside 60 here for the Slob, down. Halliburton, 2 up, 2 down on the week, coming back through this range. So those guys having some issues here. Market's starting to back off again, just a tad. Also, PayPal. And PayPal chopping around after the gap down, tries to poke up into higher highs, and then boom, 2 up, 2 down reversal back through the range. PayPal still in trouble. If we go to some of the pandemics, get airlines. American Airlines still an inside day. How's United? United still taking out these lows. That's 2 up, 2 down on the week. We've been watching these guys. Delta coming down, 2 up, 2 down, weaker. So airlines having some problems. How's the restaurants doing? DRI not so much. Marriott, how you doing? Those guys doing all right. But you got some gaming having some problems. Penn Gaming still Portnoy, still puking. So you can see just the systematic walk down. Triangle day out. Slight higher high shooter. Boom, back to previous range. Still puking. And the DraftKings. PayPal to the lows as I speak. DraftKings still melting off the cliff here. So here's your inside 60 there. DraftKings still having some problems. Also having some problems with the financials. FAS taking this out. Taking last 3 weeks lows out. If you go to XLF. Inside week to the downside. So that's giving us like the JP Morgans and the Goldman Sachs of the world. How's that Citicorp doing? Citicorp still puking and coming back through this previous range. 1 bar Rev Strat week. Inside week pokes up and then boom, down she goes. And if that works, takes out last month's lows. So Citicorp still having all sorts of problems. If we go to also in the energy patch, you're going to have the refiners coming down. PSX taking an inside week to the downside. HFC here. 1 bar Rev Strat inside week. Now an outside week and coming after taking last month's lows out. So there's certainly some discernible internal weakness in there. Well, we are waiting for those NVIDIA earnings, though. That could change the tech situation. We'll see if they come back and go to Apple. If they want to concentrate their efforts. Apple potentially inside on the 60. If you go to the 30, you'll see this. Going to be an inside 30. So we'll see if they come back into those stronger names or if those names give way with all the internal weakness. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Ron Smith, Smith the Black. Strat Time Report.